South Park, Walking Dead, Bewitched, MASH. Oh, hi guys. Just getting some video ideas. Welcome to the first episode of a new series called Mark Discovers, where I review TV shows. As you guys probably know, I mostly talk about movies. Movies are part of my livelihood. I adore cinema, and I'm a big classic movie fan. I know more about movies, but the one thing I don't talk about, at all on this channel, is TV shows. And there's a perfectly good reason for this, and that's because I don't like TV. Don't get me wrong, I like watching TV shows every once in a while, but to me, most TV shows nowadays are nothing more than just reality shows. Back when TV was new, TV was like a brand new thing. Everybody wanted a television set in their homes, and in turn, they got some really memorable shows like I Love Lucy, Leave It to Beaver, The Donna Reed Show, and then you have some random stuff like Howdy Doody Show and all those. But when TV was new, everybody really wanted a piece of it. Everybody wanted it. But nowadays, TV is nothing more than just reality shows. I mean, yes, there are a couple reality shows I like Pitbull's Employees, Top Chef, and Kitchen Nightmares, but most of the time, they don't have any style to them at all. And the only TV channels that have shows, I don't even get those, like HBO, Showtime, Netflix. I mean, yeah, there's AMC, but, I don't even know what's on AMC anymore. But to be fair, though, there are a couple good TV shows nowadays, such as The Good Doctor and This Is Us, and, of course, American Horror Story. But generally, I don't really watch much TV because most TV shows are just reality shows. I think that's probably another reason why I like classic TV better, because with classic TV, anyone can watch it and anybody can relate to it and anybody can enjoy it. I Love Lucy was a groundbreaking show that paved the way for many sitcoms to follow, including Leave It to Beaver, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, The Dick Van Dyke Show, Gilligan's Island, Green Acres, I Dream of Jeannie. Some of my favorite shows of all time include I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke Show, and Gilligan's Island. People nowadays, it's hard to please people with TV. I mean, or at least it's hard to please me, because I can watch a movie and try and get into it for about the first 50 minutes or so, and if I don't like it, then it's more like how the movie was executed. But typically a TV show can hold my interest if it has a good story, but it's hard for me to really get invested in a story if after the 4th or 5th episode I just kind of lose interest. And I think it's fair to give a show 4 or 5 or even 6 episodes before you like it or don't like it, because you want to see where it goes. But generally with a TV show, it's a lot harder to get me invested because you have to constantly watch episode upon episode upon episode, and I can only take like 4 or 5 episodes at a time before I start to get bored of it. And I think that's probably why classic TV shows interest me more, because generally you're able to understand what's going on a whole lot easier. Anyone's able to enjoy them just fine, and it's just more interesting to see how they did it back then. I mean, there are a couple modern TV shows I do like Downton Abbey, which is one of my favorite shows, American Horror Story, American Crime Story, This Is Us, and The Good Doctor. But yeah, TV shows are just not my thing. But there are those TV shows out there that have loyal fan bases. People who, long after the show has ended, they still watch the show time and time again. No matter what day it is, they will always watch it. And that's what this show is about. Me discovering these series for the first time and understand why they have fan bases. The first part of the show is basically going to be me talking about my history with the show and basically what I know about it. I decided to do something a little simple for my first episode because I don't want to jump into something like Game of Thrones or My Little Pony Friendships Magic early on. I've got a bunch of shows on my list, so let's get right down to it. First up, Breaking Bad. Now, I hardly know anything about it. Breaking Bad was one of those shows that I typically never watched, but I heard a lot of people loved it. In fact, it was the one show that put Bryan Cranston on the map. And to be totally honest, I never really had any desire to watch it because I never knew anybody who was a fan. See, here's the thing with me. The more people recommend it to me, the more likely chance I'll be able to watch it myself. Because if hardly anybody recommends it to me, or if somebody says, oh, I've seen Breaking Bad and it was a really good show, I'm not gonna be able to watch it because it's only like one person recommending it to me. I don't really know who else would recommend it. So it's that kind of weird thing where the more people request it to me, the better. But Breaking Bad, I remember when it was on. I remember it won a bunch of awards, and I do remember a lot of people liking it. But I don't remember anybody saying, dude, you have to watch this show, Breaking Bad. It is one of the best shows on TV. Why is it that good? You gotta watch it. It's because the story is so interesting and the characters. You gotta watch this show. It is a really good show. Do you know why you love it? Yeah, I've never known anybody like that, and that's part of the problem. It's always like, I'm usually one of the last people to know about it. I actually do remember when the series finale aired. That was actually a big deal because a lot of people were so invested in the show and they wanted to know where it was going to end up. I typically I never watched it. Either I was too young or I never really thought of watching it. When people recommend a show to me, it's usually typically like nerd culture stuff, which, don't get me wrong, I'm a nerd myself, but not that kind of nerd. Breaking Bad was just a show that I never really got into because hardly anybody ever recommended it to me. What is it about this show that makes people so excited about it? Why did people love it so much? And does it even deserve all the attention it got? Well, that's what I'm about to find out. I'm about to find out why there's so many people who like the show, and I'm about to find out why so many people still watch it long after the final episode aired. Now keep in mind that this show is not going to be a season by season breakdown. I don't do that kind of thing. What I'm going to do is just get as far as I can and give an overall analysis. Let's dive deeper, shall we? So now, this is the part of the show where I look up the history of the show that I'm about to talk about. Basically, educate myself with a little bit of information on the show and see what it's really about. Alright, so the first thing I look up is, how did the show last? Wow, 6 seasons? Yeah, a pretty decent run. Well, technically 5 because season 5 was broken up into 2 parts. That's insane that this show lasted as long as it did. That's just incredible. That's absolutely incredible in more ways than one. So, what is it about this show that made people love it so much? Breaking Bad, as it says here, is widely regarded as one of the greatest television series of all time. Really? One of the greatest TV shows of all time. Yeah, I somehow find that extremely hard to believe, especially when you have other series out there like MASH, I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke Show, Mary Tyler Moore Show. Both shows have been regarded as some of the greatest. Even Cheers and Dallas and all those shows. But what's up with this one? Why is it so special? According to this, it says that when the series finale aired, it was the most watched cable TV series of all time in the United States. It even has a spot on the Guinness Book of World Records as the most critically acclaimed show of all time. It even spawned a prequel series called Better Call Saul, and a spin-off movie is currently in the works. Well, I don't know, man. I find this just incredibly hard to believe, especially considering the fact that I'd never even seen it. So, but you know what I want to do? I want to dive deeper. I want to dive deeper into this. One of the themes is what is known as moral consequences. Basically, that every action has some kind of consequence, whether good or bad. Vince Gilligan said that if religion is a reaction of man and nothing more, it seems to me that it represents a human desire for wrongdoers to be punished. When people have talked about the show, they usually compare it to other shows like The Sopranos, Mad Men, and The Wire. And Chuck Klosterman said that Breaking Bad is built on the uncomfortable premise that there's an unfluential difference between what's right and what's wrong, and it's the only one where the characters have real control over how they choose to live. One other theme is devotion to family. One of the themes include a pink teddy bear that was present in the second season, and another is some poet named Walt Whitman. So we have consequences, a poet, a pink teddy bear, and a devotion to family. I was going to talk about the devotion to family part, but I don't really want to spoil it for myself or for you, just in case if you are new to the show too. In fact, the title actually comes from a Southern colloquialism, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, which means raise hell or turn to a life of crime. Okay, wait a minute. There's no way that this show could be a ginormous success without a good reason. Because the only way that it would be a ginormous success is if it had good writing, good characters, and a good story. As far as I know, people are saying that it's one of the greatest shows of all time. So that's where I'm curious. Why do people love this show so much? If people like it so much, then what is up with everybody really a fan of it? It even has a Guinness Book of World Records spot. That can't be a coincidence. It can't be a fluke even. It can't even be a fluke or a coincidence. Alright. I think I got as much information as I could get in one sitting. So now, this is where the fun part comes in. The fun part comes where I actually get to sit down and actually watch the show. The show is not designed to be an analysis of the whole series, because, well, for one thing, that would take too long, and two, that would be, like, spoiler territory. In part two, what I do is give a general overall analysis of the show. Basically, the basics, what it's about, things like that. Let's do it. But gee, how am I going to be able to watch Breaking Bad? Oh. First season of Breaking Bad. Thanks. Out of nowhere convenience. What if I'm just wasting my time? Everybody says it's like really... Everyone says it's bad good, but what if I'm just wasting my time? What if this isn't worth it? Is this a waste of my time? Because I don't even know. I know everybody says it's amazing, but usually when everybody says that it's great, I usually think it's overrated. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to at least watch some of it, see how it goes. I mean, I'm not going to review every season, obviously. I'm not even going to watch all of the 5 seasons either. So, I don't know. Guess it wouldn't hurt to give it a shot, I guess. Alright. So, the next time you see me, I'll give you my overall impressions of Breaking Bad.